Would it be so bad if I wrote an entire album that was just for me?
Tell us about this album. What is it called and why did you call it?
So this album is called Look at Me, my debut album. I am very proud of this album. I left nothing on the table when it comes to this album. The amount of late nights that I've worked with my husband, the countless tears that I lost that this album has taken. It was hard, but it's been so liberating and it's been so freeing. And it's crazy. You never know what the Lord is doing until you look back. Even writing all these songs, like I didn't realize I was gonna find healing throughout this project. The phrase immediately just came to mind, this might be like my self-healing album. When I approached all the songs, I wanted to be like brutally honest. You know, Look at Me being about when I was molested, going down to details, but then also like saying the hard truths. After that happened to me, I still have to leave a light on at night, you know? And so like saying some of those like hard truths, I think that's when I realized that this project, I thought the Lord was gonna use it to heal other people, but come to find out he was healing me throughout this whole process.
Tell us about, what was the hardest song to write?
Hardest song to write was definitely Burn. I didn't realize the weight of it until we were producing it. We got an audio of a parent and a child like arguing. When we heard that and we put it in Logic with the whole session, it was like, I instantly started like bawling because it took me back.
Which song surprised you the most?
Okay, the song that surprised me the most that came up out of the woodworks would probably be Magnetic. Magnetic has a sound and a feel to it that I didn't even know that we could produce. It's like Snarky Puppy, Silk Sonic, just very groovy, bass heavy, doing its own thing. That was definitely the one that came up out of nowhere.
Tell me more about the actual song, Look at Me.
The song Look at Me is actually more of a testimony. The backstory is I was molested when I was younger. I decided to write a song about it, but not from, oh, poor me. The Lord has already taken me through that healing process, and I was not holding back. I wanted to get very close to the story, to my actual story, but come with a confidence and an attitude that you really don't hear. I can't speak for everyone. I just know that personally, I wanted to keep it under wraps and not talk about it, and because that's easy, you know, rightfully so. It's very hard to talk about that stuff because who wants to talk about them being taken advantage of or getting molested? And so I just wanted to come with boldness. Even if I had to put myself on the chopping block, I just knew that I wasn't alone. And so that was definitely the inspiration behind the song is, hey, here's my story. You're not alone. Grab my hand. Let's do it together. And so going straight into the music video, that is what I wanted to do. In the music video, there's definitely, you know, me in there, a little younger me maybe. But then at the end, I just wanted to grab hands with some females at the end, and yeah, so that's what we did.
How did you know you were ready for your first album?
I never understood why people released albums. I was like, that's too much to swallow. I'm a singles girl. Like that's me. Until I was on my way up to Athens. I don't know if I'm the only one that does this. I love to listen to all the songs that I write, like constantly. Especially if it's like a good demo. And so I was just listening to all my songs and I realized, yo, all these songs go together. And then I was like, no. There's no way that I'm actually about to release an album. And so it was actually on the way up to Athens, Georgia, where I realized, okay, now I understand why people write albums. All these songs are definitely connected in some way, shape, or form.
I know we've been using a phrase recently that healing starts with honesty. These songs have been uncovering some stuff, you know, in your life, in your family, in your friends, and so tell us more about some of that.
If I could name this album something else, I would name it Healing Starts with Honesty. It's crazy because some of these songs, I wrote this one song and I came to my mom about it. I literally came to my parents about it and I was like, yo, I have some like trauma what do I do with this? Didn't realize that I have been holding all of that hurt for so long. My friend also told me when it comes to trauma, you have to imagine like an onion, layers unraveling at a time. It's like, oh, you get through a layer, there's another one, you know? It was like, okay, where did this come from? Why am I crying? It's just past hurt that I never dealt with. I'm finding out that I'm having to find healing. Like, I can't find healing in a person. I have to take that straight to God, to the one that can wipe the slate clean and take all of that, because I know that I can't handle it. I think another one that is also super heavy, I actually wrote this song in 2017. It's called Learning How to Love. Man, it is hard to love sometimes. And I know it's hard to love me and allow someone to love me, rightfully so. I have lots of trauma that I've gone through. You know, some of the lyrics are, I'm still learning how to love just a little at a time. Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. Shout out to my husband. The amount of grace that he has shown me through the years of marriage, that's made me cry. The grace that he just so freely gives is definitely something that I do take for granted sometimes. I'm very grateful for it. And I'm learning how to love. And I'm learning how to love my husband better. I'm learning how to love my mom better, my dad better. I'm learning how to love all the people around me.
Is this a bad time to say I love you? It kind of looks like you're in outer space. Tell me a little bit about what's even going on here.
So we had a listening party a couple weeks ago now, and we had different locations. I had a makeshift beach outside, then we had a love room, and then we had the reflective room. This room is probably my most favorite because my husband said something so brilliant, like he always does, and it just speaks like volumes. And he said, I think the intention with this room is to allow people and push people to self-reflect on their life. And so that's why we wrap this baby in reflective paper. So, and of course, the whole album is called Look at Me, but we actually wanted to allow people to see the reflection, to actually look at themselves and, you know, reflect on their lives, the good and the bad, all of it.